You're watching Pickleball Television Network.
Welcome back from break. We really appreciate you hanging out with us for that short little time. It allows us to kind of bring in our guests and, of course, some more drinks. So thank you for hanging out. We have a very, very special guest that's joining us today. I don't even know where to start with all the accolades that Mr. Gordon Gebert has in his background, but he's got the rock and roll background. He's got the NPL going on. We got the Slam Master. We got the Pickleball Television Network. Very, very exciting addition. Plus all the travel he's doing for pickleball. We're going to get into all of this. I just lost my breath, but welcome, Gordon, to the Third Shot Podcast.
Thank you, Uncle Greg and Brigie, and thank you to Russ there for the beginning of the show. Awesome.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. We were super excited to hear all about everything that has been going on in your life, especially the pickleball piece. But before we get into it, we're going to do our second shot of the show.
Little tradition here. Cheers, Gordon.
Cheers, guys. I'm going lightweight with the Corona, so.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You're pacing yourself.
I was going to ask, how old's Brigie?
I'm 32, so I'm definitely of drinking age.
You look so young. I said, I don't know if you're drinking age.
You are my favorite, but I'm actually, I don't drink most of the time. I don't really care for alcohol, but I've got some delicious green tea that I'm having.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. I'm a teetotaler. So.
Yeah.
I'm only 19, but I'm drinking Jack Daniels tonight.
A hard
Make up for everybody. Very
I
cool.
look old for my age. I'm only 19. And somehow I'm Rich's uncle at the same time. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
I'm in denial, so.
Well, Gordon, as I mentioned before, we are here to hear about pickleball, but also you have a very amazing and fun history in the music industry. So if you could share with our audience, can you tell us about all the amazing bands that you've been able to play with, and just share with us some of those fun stories?
What's really fun, I didn't make up this moniker. It's one of my neighbors did, and he's a real cool guy. I'm a retired rock star. I'm retired. So I'm not playing anymore. But I play with the most famous bands in the world. I've toured the world many times over. And I'm most known for working with Ace Frehley for years. I played with Marty Ballin from Jefferson Starship. See, I'm going to mention all this stuff that Brigie doesn't even know. She's too young to even know those bands.
No, you guys are, icons. I definitely know what you're talking about.
Her parents are Deadheads and Beatle fans. So she knows
there you go. Yeah. So I mean, I got a long list of people I've worked with. I worked with Liberty DeVito from Billy Joel's band. I worked with Motley Crue. I worked with, this is why I say what a lot. I'm very deaf. So, I could go on and on with all the bands I played, but I toured the world. I've been around the world many times over. And people ask me, what's the most unusual place I've been? And I've actually been to the North Pole. I actually performed for the troops, our military, up in Greenland with Donna Summer's band. I'm really showing my age here.
Was there anybody else that was at that tour with you guys?
No, we were just entertaining the troops there. So we went up to the DEW line, the daily early warning line. I don't know, you really look that up, and that was 6 bases along Greenland that monitored Russia if we were ever getting attacked from Russia during the Cold War, and they would go over the North Pole to attack us. So all the military stuff there, it was really cool. And back then, I saluted the military back then. And what's really wild, we did USO shows. I meet people in the military and I thank them for their service. And I said, and they asked me if I was involved with the service. I said, well, I did USO shows. And they would shake my hand and say, thank you for your service. They sacrificed a lot more, but they thanked me for what I did for them, which was really cool. But that was only small part of my history. I mean, I've worked on many albums, live stuff, jams, and all kinds of really cool musicians I played with in my life.
What one concert sticks out that you totally remember for whatever reason?
There's a couple, but I loved Sweden rock. We played. I played with a band called Angel, and they were on Casablanca Records along with Kiss, and I was the keyboard player for Angel, and it was very keyboard oriented band. And Sweden rock was we played with Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Yeah, I grew up with Dee. Yeah, I used to go see Twisted Sister in little clubs and stuff like that. And we ended up playing this big giant show in Sweden, and it was called Sweden Rock, just a sea of people. And I did a couple other concerts like that where there's a sea of people, and everybody goes, "Do you get nervous?" I go, "No, well, I get nervous when I'm in the studio and I got two eyes looking over me playing something. But when there's a sea of people and entertaining, I loved it. I ate it up, and I really miss performing. I really do."
Gosh, you must be so talented. As a kid, when did you even start playing before you started going on tour? What got you into music?
I started late. I mean, I always loved music, but growing up in high school, I was 15 years old, and a guy gave me an organ, and I just started playing by ear. And I was figuring out stuff from my favorite band was Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Brigie, you're not going to know it. And Deep Purple, I was into that. I was into keyboard stuff, and then all my friends were into Kiss, and which was really weird. I didn't even like Kiss. I shouldn't say that publicly. I do. I admit everything. I'm very upfront with everything. And I ended up working with Ace Frehley and being best friends with Ace for like 10 years, and Kiss fans would think, I was a big Kiss fan. I go, nah, I was into ELP, Genesis, and progressive rock. I appreciate Kiss now more than I did back then. I was kind of a music snob because I was into more intricate music. Like Yes, I loved Yes. Uncle Greg will know that stuff.
I do know Yes, and you mentioned Genesis, and Phil Collins is one of my favorites. Did you ever get to play with Phil? Or
I never got to play with Phil, but Phil he lived in my area near North Stamford in Connecticut. Yeah, and I have friends that they're really close and stuff. The music business was so incestuous. You would mention one guy and you played with another guy. You're always connected with everybody somehow. So Phil, I never got to play with. No, but awesome musician, awesome drummer. I played with the best drummers in the world, though. I was really spoiled, but I blame them for my hearing problems, my tinnitus.
Well, who would you say are the top two drummers in the world, in your opinion?
I love Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Liberty DeVito, I worked with, fantastic drummer. He played with Billy Joel for like 20-something years. And I ended up in the studio with Liberty, and he actually turned to me and said, "You're a better keyboard player than Billy Joel." And I said, "My bank account doesn't match his." So,
when someone tell you you're a better keyboard player than the Piano Man, that's saying something.
Yeah, that was cool to hear it from him. I said, "You got to put it on tape." So,
repeat it for us, please.
Yeah, repeat it for us. Yeah, and like I was doing to Uncle Greg, I was shelling out more money as the credits were rolling. Anton Fig, he played with David Letterman band. I don't know if you remember the David Letterman show, and Anton Fig was the drummer there, and I was really good friends with Anton, a great drummer. I just played with the best drummers in the world, and it kind of spoiled me because whenever I got to jam with like a local band, and it was like a drummer just playing with a local, and he thought he was great, and it was like nails on a blackboard to me because I played with the best drummers in the world. Terrible, got spoiled.
Yeah.
Well,
how fun. And I'm sure you have like tons more stories, but we appreciate you sharing that bit with us. Yeah. At what point did you decide, okay, I'm done with the rock and roll lifestyle. Now I'm switching to pickleball? How the heck did that happen?